Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce presents the Bowie Business Journal, a program designed to keep our community informed about important business and economic issues.
Hi, welcome to Bowie Business Journal. I'm Cindy Freland, host and co-producer. Our topic for today is women's health, and I have two guests with me here in the studio. Welcome Andrew Ellinghaus.
Thank you for
joining us. Thank you for joining us. And Nicole Johnson. Thank you for joining us, Nicole.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to talk about women's health, but first we're going to talk about your companies. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Bowie Chamber of Commerce, and then our topic, which is women's health. So again, thank you both for joining us. And Andrew, can you introduce yourself again and let me know what your company is and what you offer, please?
Definitely. My name's Andrew Ellinghaus. I am the Director of Marketing for Chesapeake Bay Aquatic Physical Therapy and SportFit Fitness Club. Both are in Bowie. Chesapeake Bay has 5 locations. SportFit has 3 locations, and they are in the White Marsh Park complex there, which is very unique. It's nice to have both a fitness club and a physical therapy clinic right at the same location. And I have been with them for a little while. The company actually is over 10 years old. It was actually started in 2001, and most of all of the locations are have both the fitness club and the physical therapy clinic. So it makes it nice for our patients of the physical therapy as well as the members of the fitness clubs, because everybody has injuries from time to time or has to deal with a surgery, and the ability to have physical therapy, but then move right over to the fitness club and use the equipment and the machines and that sort of thing is very unique. And the one thing I'd love to stress is that Chesapeake Bay specializes in the aquatic physical therapy. It's something that a lot of physical therapy clinics do not offer, can't offer. We've got pools at all of our locations, and it's warm therapy pools, so it's very inviting. And aquatic physical therapy is phenomenal. We do offer, of course, land-based physical therapy, but the aqua portion of it is very enjoyable and very beneficial to our patients.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Nicole, can you introduce yourself again and let us know what your company is and what you offer, please?
Sure. I am Nicole Johnson, owner of Wellness Rounded Life. I'm a holistic health coach, so I basically work with clients who struggle with, mainly they come to me for weight loss, but because I do everything holistically, we address more than just weight loss, because weight loss is more than just an eating issue. It's usually a lifestyle issue. So we address different areas of people's lives, because I believe you have to get healthy in order to lose weight, as opposed to what most people teach, you have to lose weight to get healthy. I believe it's the other way around. So I work with clients and get that accomplished, help them with their goals, their wellness goals.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what holistic means. Can you explain that to me?
Holistic means whole, like the entire being. So it's not just one area of your life. It's nutrition, it's fitness, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's your career. It's all of that. They all intertwine, they all play a part in your total health. So, so holistic is, you can equate that to whole, W-H-O-L-E, whole.
Okay, good.
Yep.
All right, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andrew, what led you to this this career path?
A job posting.
That's a good start.
Well, I've been in marketing for over 10 years myself, and had actually a company up in Connecticut. Moved down with my family, my wife's job actually. She's from the Maryland area. And but I have been in digital marketing, print marketing, and advertising, search engine optimization, social media marketing, and it's very exciting to me. And came across Chesapeake Bay Aquatic Physical Therapy, and it was actually a part-time situation, and now where we're at right now, it's more or less a full-time job. I'm working with SportFit, the sister company, as well. I truly enjoy the people I work with, the physical therapists as well as the personal trainers at the fitness clubs. All of them are down to earth. They deal with people and personalities and struggles, challenges, triumphs every single day. And it's amazing to work with this crew. And yeah, both of them have to do with wellness. They have to do with quality of life. The patients and the members that come into our businesses are after something better for themselves physically and mindfully, of course. And there's something to behold in that, to be working behind the scenes with both of these companies in getting the word out and marketing and that sort of thing. You can't help but connect it to ultimately the results and the product. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Okay, good. Thank you. Nicole, what about you? What made you decide to start your company?
Nutrition, people, well, I've struggled with it myself. My eating habits have not always been the best, and as I got older, I started to notice the effects of that, and so just researching and learning about what I can do to improve myself, I'm like, oh, this is so interesting. So I just keep learning and reading more and more, and it made me want to help other people with their issues as well. I've learned how one person's food is another person's poison. So I like to approach different people based on what their body needs and their lifestyle and things like that. So I love the aha moment that comes across their face and they're like, this is so simple. So, and being able to see them through their goals, wellness, whichever goals we set together, see them accomplish them. So that's been a blessing.
What are the aha moments? Can you mention any of those?
Sure. Even just simple things as far as like the importance of consuming water, just the little things like that. Just nutritionally, fitness, the importance of exercise, not just for weight loss purposes, just for bone density health and immune system health and things like that. So most of Western medicine doesn't put things together. We approach things as though they work independently of each other, but holistics shows that all our body is made like a car. One part goes wrong, then everything seems to fall apart. So if you keep everything, approach everything as working together, then just things like that, you don't usually think of it like that. If I explain that correctly.
Yes, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Andrew, you mentioned working with the people. What's your favorite part of working at the aquatics therapy?
Well, my favorite part is taking note of the visions of the directors I work with, and seeing my own vision, come to light in terms of how we approach the public. What kind of message we want to send. It's definitely not easy. No business is easy to market necessarily. You really have to have a good understanding of the end user, and how you put that out, that message out, really makes a difference. In what ways and what vehicles you send that message through. I don't know if I answered your question, but
sure.
But that's very enjoyable to me. And like I said before, it all has to do with wellness. It has to do with bettering one's life. So all of it is feel good for me.
Well, good. It's good. I heard a quote, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That is true.
So Nicole, what about you? What do you like best about working with your business?
I like that it's on my own schedule for the most part.
Right.
But mainly, I love getting people to where they want it to go. Because a lot of times people try to do things by themselves and they get so discouraged and they lose sight of what their initial goal was. And my job is to help them keep that goal in focus and get them through any obstacles that present and keep them motivated and accomplish that goal. So being able to do that is a blessing.
Well, if you have partners for anything, you're inspired by them, and you share notes and you compare notes, and for anything you do in life, it's nice to have a partner.
Absolutely.
Life partner, period. It's great to have to share everything.
Absolutely.
So, Andrew, what about events? Do you have any events coming up?
We have a few events. Some are associated with the Chamber, of course, but we have a number of events that have to do with particular locations. We're in Laurel, Severna Park, Reisterstown, and Timonium, in addition to Bowie, and that's Chesapeake Bay. SportFit is in Severna Park, Laurel, and Bowie, and there's always events going on. Open houses, clinics. We do a lot of seminars. The physical therapy practice does quite a few seminars and clinics at 55 plus communities. And we also try to get out there in outside events, whether it be charity 5K races. We're actually going to be working with Towson University. They have an autism fundraiser going on in April. So we try to get out as much as we can into the community with health-related events, fundraisers, stuff like that. But we also have in-house events, and we will be hosting a few Bowie Chamber events, I think one this summer and then another one in the fall, where we're going to have members come in to the SportFit in Bowie, and they'll be able to tour the facility as well as see the physical therapy clinic within.
Okay, great. What about you, Nicole?
Awesome.
Any events coming up anytime soon?
Yes, actually at the end of the month I'm going to be doing a call on sugar. We are so addicted to sugar. The industry makes sure of that. So I will address how hidden sugars are present that we don't even realize we're consuming. And it'll be a conference call initially.
Okay.
So I try to do conference calls at least once a month on different topics.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, if you want to reach either Andrew or Nicole or myself, the credits will be at the end of the show. And please contact them for their shows, their events, their anything that you would like to contact them for. And Andrew, what about the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce? Are you a member of the Chamber? And if so, for how long, and what do you enjoy with the Chamber?
It's interesting, SportFit has been a member for many years, and I know that they've had physical trainers and directors of particular programs attend Bowie Chamber events. When I jumped on, I noticed that we weren't, that Chesapeake Bay was not a member of the Chamber. And so we quickly remedied that and we jumped aboard. And I've been to quite a few Bowie Chamber events. And just being a marketing guy, I've been to many, many Chamber events. And I love Chamber events. I love after hours mixers. I love the breakfast, morning programs about particular topics. I definitely enjoy them. I love connecting with the fellow business owners in a particular region. And there's something to be said for that. I think any small business needs the help of the other small businesses to thrive. And if there's a community and a camaraderie you know, it definitely makes things easier. And I definitely enjoyed your event the other night on
Thank you.
Facebook.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
very informative.
Thank you. And Nicole, can you expand on that a little bit? How long have you been a chamber member, and what do you enjoy about the chamber?
Absolutely. I've been a member 5 years, and I just love the people. I love the members. They've always made me feel welcome. The atmosphere is always positive and supportive anytime I go to a mixer or a luncheon or anything like that. So being a small business owner, I definitely need that interaction with other small businesses. You get to learn from each other and support each other, and that's very important, especially since I'm my business. I don't have a group of people just yet.
Right.
So they're very helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Andrew, we're going to go into our topic now, and if you could just tell us a little bit about women's health and what you know and how we might be able to relay information to help women in Bowie.
Well, like I said before, SportFit and Chesapeake Bay Aquatic and Physical Therapy are sister companies, and we see quite a few women that come in, both sides, and my personal opinion is, and I think you've touched on this a little bit, but it's very important to be very well-rounded with your body and your mind, and it does take a proactive approach to make sure, and this is for women or men, of course, to make sure that you're active, make sure that you're eating right, all these things, and it definitely helps to have a place that you can go where people are doing the same thing, and challenged by the same things, but also inspired by the same things, and I see that every day in our clubs and our clinics, and you know, a woman's body is very different from a man's body. You know, we both have to work out and eat right, but how you administer physical therapy, for instance, is definitely different for a man and woman. So it's a very interesting thing to actually see everything happening at the clubs and in the clinics.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Nicole, what can you add to that?
Well, one thing I like to address that most people don't consider is hormone imbalance, especially for women. Estrogen is a fat storage type hormone, and a lot of women, due to stress and things with the cortisol hormone, which is a stress hormone, which is also a fat storage hormone, those are elevated in our system, and no matter what you do with working out, if they're elevated or out of whack, then your weight will not come off. And so I like to address that with women when I work with them to see if we get their hormone levels back to normal so that the weight will actually start to melt off. I notice just reducing in stress, and stress could be, it doesn't have to be physical. Our body doesn't know the difference between physical and perceived stress. That's one thing. So giving our clients a different perception on things can help reduce stress significantly, which can activate the fat-burning hormones again. So that's one of the biggest things I like to work with my clients, is addressing the hormone imbalance.
So do you ask them to go seek advice from their doctor to get hormone advice, or how do you treat that?
I address it initially. I like to use different foods and things, different stress reduction methods. If it's anything severe and out of my scope, I will definitely refer them to a physician or a psychologist or anything like that. But mostly I keep it simple, because if you give too much, then it's overwhelming.
Right.
That can also increase stress.
Right.
So give simple tasks. A lot of times, if they're exhausted, most people don't realize they're exhausted because a lot of times people do not get enough sleep. I do not advocate real strenuous workouts, because if you're already exhausted, a workout is stress. real heavy workout is stress, and it's going to exhaust you more.
Right.
I know when I was exhausted a lot and I work out, I could go right to sleep after working out. That's a good indication that you shouldn't be working out that hard. You need to get rest first.
Okay.
So I would say like yoga or Tai Chi or something like that, so that way you're still doing some kind of training until you can get your sleep cycle back on par. So just little things like that can help reduce stress and weight. So.
Okay. I've always wondered, do you eat first or do you exercise first? Let's say you need to do both. Do you exercise or eat first?
It would depend on what type of exercise you're getting into.
Okay.
I know like when I go do a PT test, I usually eat a protein bar and then I go do the PT test.
Okay.
If you're going to run like a long marathon, you definitely would need to preload on a high carbohydrate meal, because that's what your body's going to use for energy initially.
Okay.
So if you're trying to burn fat, reduce your sugar intake, because when you're doing exercise, your body's going to look for the sugar initially, the glucose in your system, because that's a quick energy thing. So that's why a slower exercise will use the fat, because it doesn't need that burst of energy. So if that answers your question.
Okay, sure, yeah. You mentioned PT test. Please let us know what that is.
Physical fitness test. I am in the military full-time.
Okay.
So physical fitness test, sit-ups, push-ups, run, although I walk.
Okay.
I need some of that.
I don't think most of us don't, I can speak for myself, don't get enough exercise. And just walking is the best exercise. Just get up and walk.
Walking and swimming.
Swimming, yes, very good, yes.
What about lugging two under 5-year-olds?
That's a good one too.
It definitely, it'll give you something, but after a while your body gets used to it and you need to change it up.
Now if you start lifting them over your head,
then you
throwing them over your shoulder, that might be good
just
too.
throwing them onto the couch.
Right, but
They
don't throw
seem to love this.
Don't throw your back out doing that.
Yeah, hold
Right.
your stomach tight when you do that. Protect your back.
So what else can you add, Andrew?
Well, let's talk about my own fitness.
Okay.
Well, you were talking about sugar, and I have been for probably 5 years eating a banana every single day, and it's just been, my part of my plan, which is not developed or very thorough, but. At least I try to eat like 2 pieces of fruit, just to counteract any bad things that I'm doing on the side. And then I was listening to the news, and it said something about, bananas are great, but they're packed with sugar. And I was like, wait a minute, that was supposed to be good for me. But the sugar thing really is, it's a big topic right now. And the soft drinks and how it ties into obesity and processed foods and how that ties into everything. And we're talking about women's health, so women definitely deal with this sort of thing. Men do too, and it's how do you X all of that stuff out without just eating bland, for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right. Can you help with that question, Nicole?
Well, I advocate sugars from regular fruit. That's a natural sugar. The processed sugars, the high fructose corn syrup and things like that, that's what is giving your body this crazy, like, what the heck is going on? This is not good for my system. I'm going to fight it. So the biggest thing I promote is eating clean. So you eat raw foods. I mean, it doesn't have to be raw, but like stop buying the frozen dinners. So try to eat as fresh as possible, as local as possible, as within season as possible. So just that small change, just finding like a substitute for what you normally love, will definitely, you will notice a difference in your energy level and your weight and things like that. So, because calorie counting is a mess. So if you eat you don't have to count a bunch of calories if you're eating vegetables and things like that. You can pretty much eat all of that you want and you won't have to worry about it. You have a lot of food there and you get full and there's not a lot of calories involved in that.
How do you feel about organic foods as opposed to non-organic? Is there really a big difference there?
I believe that there is. Chemicals on the non-organic foods, they're not necessarily all washed off, and the chemicals, once they enter your body breaks down the food, it makes new cells with it. So if you're introducing chemicals into your cells, it can cause cancerous cells, and it can just cause all kinds of havoc. So I definitely advocate and prefer organic. I know it can be expensive, but so is chemotherapy.
Right,
so
right.
that's what I'm like, prevention. The problem is we are a microwave generation, so if we don't see the harmful effects right away, then we're fine. And normally your older life, when you're ready to retire and enjoy yourself, you're like sick. So I'm like trying to prevent that and trying to help people prevent that. To me, it may be hard at first to adjust your diet, but most of the time when you notice your energy level increase and you're feeling better, you're like, how did I not do this before? So you kind of you get motivated by yourself just by the way you feel after you eat. You start eating better. So
there is a farm in Federalsburg that is a TSA. I forget what those letters stand for, and you probably know more about it than I do. It's a farm where they share crops. You can buy a certain share, you can buy a half a share, and they bring the vegetables and the fruits to Bowie. There's one in Crofton, a location in Crofton, there's a location in Bowie, and they have maybe 20 or 30 vegetables and fruits that they drop off. And if you want more information on that, contact me. The credits for all of us are at the end of the show. But I think I want to try that because they have the organic fruits and vegetables, and they're fresh off the field that morning picked.
that's nice.
So
We did that just this past summer.
Really?
Did a farm share.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went in with some family members, and we had to drive to like right outside an elementary school once a week.
Right.
And you go and you pick up all this
Yeah, it sounds great.
fresh vegetables and fruits.
Yep. Well, we need to wrap up, so I appreciate you both coming. Nicole Johnson, thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much
And
for having
Andrew
me.
Ellinghaus, thank you.
Thank
you
you.
for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for joining us. Bowie Business Journal. Thank you.